Alright, hello. Alright, bet. Yo, what is good, YouTube or my Instagram followers, wherever you may come from and you may be watching this video, because I don't know, I'm not even that fucking interesting. But I have been getting asked a lot to finally tell the story of who I am, how I got to where I am today, and how I got started into trading. And this is going to be one of my most authentic videos and something I've actually been waiting to do for like the longest time. Something it definitely has taken a lot of convincing for myself to also be able to post, just because I'm gonna really open up to everybody on my life story and how I got here, the ins and outs, what I've learned, and overall just showing you guys that it is possible. Because just to keep it a buck 50, like, I don't come from nothing. Like, I really came from the ground up and managed to build something that thankfully changed my life and is going to continue to change my life forever, and my family's as well. So if you don't know who I am, you probably found my Instagram, or most likely my Instagram, because that's what I've been most consistent with and I've been blowing up on there. But you guys know me because of this video, the video of me dancing with my mom as a baby, and those motivational lifestyle videos. But I've never really talked about and opened up face to face like this. This is like my first time ever doing something like this, and so I'm excited, but I'm also nervous because I don't really like opening up about this type of stuff. But again, my name is Azul Trades, or in other words, Omar Garcia. I'm 20 years old. I am about to turn 21. I'm old as fuck. I've been trading for around 7 years now, and we have hit over $300,000 in trading profits from prop firms alone specifically. That does not include crypto, that does not include investments, that does not include outside trading on my live accounts. That is purely from prop firms. But it wasn't always great like this. It wasn't, the life that you see on Instagram wasn't always like that. It took a lot of hard work. It took a lot of failures and a lot of lessons to learn on the way in this journey to get to where I am today. Definitely a lot of ups and downs, and sometimes during those downs, there's definitely days where I doubted myself a lot and I almost wanted to quit, and sometimes even just take the easy way out. But thankfully we thugged it out and God rewarded us at the end of it. But where it all started. So, for those that don't know, I am a natural born Mexican. I was born in La Ciudad de Oaxaca in Mexico. I was born in a small town, or a small pueblo, called Ayoquesco de la Aldama. It is an hour away from the city. It is a very poor town. Oaxaca in general is one of the poorest towns in Mexico, for those that didn't know. But I am very fucking proud of from where I come from. I am very grateful to have the family that I have, and I'm very proud for the last names that I carry. And yeah, that's where I'm from. I came here to the United States when I was a baby, around 2 years old. From what I know that my parents and my mom have told me, I crossed over here as a young baby. I crossed with another family using somebody else's passport, and that's the reality of it. That's how a lot of us that crossed as a baby ended up coming over here. But that's how I crossed. I crossed here before my mother did. The people I was given to were my grandparents from my mother's side. I lived with them for around a year until my mom was finally able to come over, and I guess I reunited with my mom when I was around 3 years old. At this time, when my mom was here, we were living with my grandparents, and it was like, from what my mom tells me, is that we were on and off. We would live with her parents, my grandparents, or we would later on swap over and go live with my great grandmother from my dad's side of the family. Growing up, I didn't know who my dad was, my biological father. So the dad that I will be talking about that I grew up with is my stepdad, or what I call now my dad, like he's my dad. But growing up, we early on, before my mom met my dad, we were living in my great grandmother's house, which was a very important person in my life and played an amazing role in my life, and is a beautiful woman, and I owe her everything I have built today. But unfortunately, she is not here with us anymore. But grew up in San Marcos, California with her and my mom. Lived there for about, my mom tells me, like 6 or 8 months. And then she found my stepdad, or my dad. And then a year later, 2 years later, they ended up having a baby. My mom was very young when she had me. My mom was 19 when she had me. So very young mom, very young Latina mom. I love my mom. Then we moved in with my stepdad and his cousin, they lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in San Marcos, California, in San Diego. I actually have memories of living in that apartment. It was us three. My mom was pregnant, and then it was my uncle Sean and my aunt Bere. There was 5 of us in that tiny ass apartment. I remember it very clearly. We didn't live there too long, because shortly after we ended up moving to a town that for sure from there that point on I grew up in my entire life, which was Escondido, California, in San Diego. But again, same situation. We moved in with another uncle and aunt, which already had a kid. They already had a kid, and so it was 6 of us plus now my baby brother. Growing up wasn't, again, we didn't have money. It wasn't like a crazy living situation. But the most important part that I always acknowledge and grateful for is that we always had a roof over our head. But it was 4 of us living in one bedroom basically. My mom, my dad slept on the bed, while my baby brother slept on the crib, and I had like a little bed that we would make out of blankets, and I would sleep on the floor. I remember it was very cool. Like I grew up there, lived there. I love that apartment complex, made a ton of fucking friends. Some that I still talk to this day, which is pretty fucking cool. Grew up there, had a blast as a child. I won't even lie. Like I don't care. Like I'm not one of those people that will complain about their childhood because they didn't have shit. Like, don't get me wrong, I definitely wish I would have had what some other kids had. But in the area that I grew up in the apartment complex that I grew up in, I was so fucking blessed that I had 2 cousins that lived in that apartment complex, so they're around the same age, plus my younger brother. So we always had a blast. Like, a lot of the things that we would do for enjoyment was playing soccer. And that's literally all we did every single day after school was playing soccer. We didn't grow up with PlayStations. We didn't grow up with video games. It was just going outside and playing soccer. Like, if we got grounded, we were grounded from going outside. So many adventures and so many memories fucking created that I will forever be grateful for. Definitely saw crazy shit happen. Some crazy stories that happened while growing up. I saw my neighbor get swatted. He was a trapper. It was kind of crazy. Also a lot of beef between people that lived in those apartments with other people, like gang related stuff. But overall, I'm super grateful for where I come from. Definitely a community that that I have love for and will always remember and will always be grateful from coming out of. But now getting into like the more trading stuff, because that's why obviously you clicked on the video. Around when I was 14 years old, this was back in COVID year. For me, this was freshman year, halfway through, approaching the 2nd semester. At this time, to this point in my life, I had already met my biological father. I met him around when I was 13 years old. And at this point in my life, the only way I knew how to make money, or the only way I knew I was going to make money, was from working construction, which what my biological father did. He worked construction, he did blue collar work, he did landscaping, and every designated weekend that I had with him, that I would go spend time with him on the weekends, we spent it just working, because that's all he could afford to do. Like, that's all he did. He only knew work. And so it wasn't like I go spend the weekend with my dad and we'd go out and go to Disneyland and this shit. I didn't even know what the fuck Disneyland was. But what's it called? So the weekends I would spend with him, we would spend it doing construction, either landscaping, whatever job he could get a hold of. I was just there riding along with him, and he made me do some work, whatever I could do. Obviously, it wasn't crazy shit. I'm just a kid, but he had me carry stuff around, clean stuff up. I mean, if you're a kid that got to work with his dad at a young age, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's the only way I knew how to make money, or it was going to be going to school, getting education, having good grades, and getting a degree, and going to college of some sort. But the biggest thing that I later ran into in high school was like knowing that I was gonna have to get myself into some crazy fucking debt to be even afford to go to college, because my parents didn't have the money to be able to put me into a college. And I was very frustrated trying to find something how to make money. I felt like I always had the hustler mentality, like throughout middle school, what my mom would have me do. And I'm very grateful for what my mom did for me growing up, because she would have me go sell chips at school. I used to get like a pack of chips from Costco, and I'd sell them at school. I also was selling stickers from eBay. You can buy a pack of stickers, like of 500 pack of stickers, and I was selling them for like 50 cents a sticker, or like $1 for a pack for 4 stickers. And I would make like my couple dollars here and there. And like, I always loved money and wanted money, especially because my biological dad always said that a man always had to have some sort of money in his pocket going out for whatever they wanted to do. And yeah, I loved money. I fell in love with money at a young, early age, and I wanted more, right? And around this time during my freshman year, I came across trading. I came across it through a TikTok video, and that for those that don't know, if you're older on the older side, you probably know. But this is around the time before Dogecoin came out. But this guy on Twitter, known as the Roaring Kitty, made a whole meme, like stock analysis about GameStop and AMC, on and how there were like great, amazing companies to invest into. But at the time, GameStop and AMC were actually going bankrupt, so it was like a complete joke. And it blew up, and a lot of retail traders were buying the stock up and creating the big short squeeze that happened in 2021 or in 2020. I was so intrigued at the fact that I was just seeing so many people making videos about this, and so many people were talking so highly about it, and the fact that they were posting how they were making hundreds and then thousands of dollars from trading. And the deeper I did more research, especially on X and TikTok, I was like, holy fuck, there is people making money from just literally clicking buttons and just doing it for a living. Like, I was like flabbergasted. My mind was completely fucking blown. Like, I really wanted a piece of it. And so I joined a lot of Discord communities, free communities that I can get access to. And I was just asking so many questions in there, trying to get as much as information as I possibly could. Watched a ton of YouTube videos. I think I watched like around over 100 hours worth of videos trying to just discover what trading was, then breaking down a chart, and then all these indicators, all these strategies. Like, I've been through it all. Trust me, I've watched everything and anything, bro. And then after a couple months of like studying and getting understanding of what it was, and don't get me, and the biggest part of this was that it was hard to just even like ask people around me what the fuck the stock market was, because nobody around me knew what the fuck I was talking about. Like, when I went to go ask my dad and my mom, or my other dad, my biological dad, what the stock market was, they were like, ¿qué es eso? And then when I told them, oh, like, you can make money like if you buy this and this and that, they're like, esas son estafadas, no creas en eso. Like, they didn't know. Like, we didn't know. Like, especially the community around me. Like, anytime I asked a kid my age that was also a freshman, they'd be like, what is that? Like, none of us knew what that was, bro. Like, we didn't grow up with people teaching us how to invest your money and how to be able to flip it. Like, we didn't know any of that stuff. And so it was definitely hard, especially trying to learn it all on my own. But thankfully, a lot of people online, I met an amazing group of people online that were able to help me, point me in the right direction, and give me an understanding and overall fundamental understanding of how it worked. And especially entering the financial markets at such a young age, I had a great understanding. I got to learn what options were. I got to learn what shares were. I got to learn what a lot of things were. And I was super blessed. And I was so eager to just trade. And that was where, like, it was kind of difficult because my mom and my dad didn't understand like the whole concept of it, of the making money through trading or the stock market. And it was very hard to convince them to open up an account for me, because again, if you're not 18, you either have to, at least the only opportunity for me was for my mom to make an account, my dad to make an account, and I can use it to use their information to log into the account and trade it. Or it was obviously them making a custodial account, but that was even much more complicated to make, and I knew I couldn't convince them to do that. But eventually I was able to convince my mom and my dad to open up that account under their name, and I was able to trade on it. I won't lie, at this stage in 2021, I got very lucky. I'm gonna be just straight up honest, and the money that I made that first year, it was mainly based off luck. And I am actually, what I'm gonna do here is pull up some, some little like some results that I got that year. Let me pull up the messages. I remember when I first entered into my first trade, I was so excited, loading up my only $40 that I had to my name at the time, and I bought the first option signal I got from the server that I was in, that I saved up $20 for. And I had like $60 saved up, and I put $20 towards that premium signal group on the Discord. And then I had put the last $40 into the Robinhood account. But if you look at here's the timestamp, January 28th, 2021, I entered into my first ever trade. When little kid Azul entered into his first trade, you can see there was me texting my dad, ignore all of that, student sending his winnings right there. But first ever trade, the kid entered into it. The kid made $136 on his first day trading. Then a couple days, I'm not gonna lie, that call option that I bought ran up over like 700%. And I ended up making a total. So if we go here a couple days later, I made a total of $365 from that option call. So little baby Azul was locked. Like, I am telling you, at this point on, I was hooked. Like when I say hooked, I was fucking hooked. Like I had made that money. What I instantly did was withdrew it as soon as like the next 2 days after my funds settled on Robinhood. I withdrew like $100 and I showed my mom, look, I made this through trading. I made this through trading. And she was like, what the fuck? Like the faces on my parents' face were like, what the fuck? And here's something that I will say. My parents may have not given me a very materialistic life, but the one thing I will always be grateful for is that they always supported me and loved me in everything that I did, and it is something I'm going to be grateful for the rest of my life. And even though we faced a lot of struggle growing up, and maybe sometimes we didn't make ends meet at moments, they always worked hard and they always put their effort and they always supported and loved every single one of us, me, my brother, and my younger sister. They were always there for us, and forever that I will forever always be grateful for my mom for always believing in her kids, and especially my stepdad too. I'm not even his biological son, and he treated me and loved me and always supported me no matter what. Has always stood behind my back, and that is something I forever be grateful for. And I was hooked. I fell in love with it. I was having the time of my life. This year, this 2021 year was very hard for me, but overall very blessed because I got hooked onto this skill. Later on in that year, thanks to Dogecoin, I did end up touching my first ever 5-figure month. I had ran up that same account that Baby Azul started, and in the past months, I ran it up to $18,000. This was the time where it was around May, where COVID got even much more worse. Around this time, COVID was getting much more worse. They had finally put everybody in quarantine. At this time, I was already doing online school, and summer was approaching. I was born in July 31st, so my birthday was in the summer. And on July the week after my birthday, my great grandmother passed away. This lady was so important to me and was genuinely like my other mother figure, and was the only like true connection I had to my dad's side of the family. She is the one part of my dad's side of the family that always was by my side and by my mom's side, because growing up I didn't have any connection to my dad's side of the family. And if anything, my mom being such a young mom with being unexperienced, and no complaints to my mom, but she even knows it, my great grandmother did so much for me and for us, and treated me like if I was her normal grandchild. And July 30th, and the day of my birthday, I made the biggest regret of my entire life. Because of COVID, I decided to stay home just because I was asked by my great grandmother to go visit her for the day of my birthday, and I don't know why I was such in a bad mood that week on my birthday that I said no. She offered to make food and do all this for me, and I said that no, that I was scared, and I made some bullshit ass excuse and I didn't show up. And a week later, my grandmother was put into the hospital. She was diagnosed with COVID, and a week after later, she didn't make it. I had lost the most important person of my life at that point. So in that given time, to me, she was even maybe more important than anybody in my life. Anything I would talk to, she was always there. She always kept me in check. She always told me to respect my stepdad because he didn't have to do anything that he was doing for me because I wasn't even his son. And if anything, all the morals and everything I have to this day was put into me because of her. And she is somebody that I truly admire. She was somebody that came also as an immigrant and was able to be, it was a self-taught nurse and was loved by the community in her neighborhood. She was an amazing woman. And that year was the biggest and most difficult year for me. After that point in time, I lost myself for a bit. The money that I had made, I had like over traded it and lost a big majority of it. But as things continued, skipping that year, I got more into trading. I got more into my sport. I worked the hardest I ever did. I picked trading back up around my sophomore year. Options trading was paying. Soccer also started to transition because growing up I wasn't the greatest at soccer until sophomore year hit. A lot of things started going my way, but it definitely came from the motivation and the wake-up call from my great grandmother passing. I felt like I owed it to her, that I had to be somebody and I had to work towards being somebody and change the destination of where my life was going. Because if I was being honest, I wasn't the brightest book in the shed. I wasn't the brightest kid in school, and I knew that college was probably not going to be for me. So I worked my ass off in trading, making sure it was going to work. I was grinding Instacart to be able to fund my trading. My parents didn't have money to give me. I was grinding Instacart. I was grinding construction on the weekends with my dad. In the summers, I was working every single day of the summer with my dad to be able to fund my trading. I was doing Instacart while I was in school. I was always finding a way to be able to pinch some money to be able to just fund my trading. And over through high school, I was super fucking blessed. I'm super glad I got into it because at the end of the high school and in the end of graduation, senior year, I had over $55,000 saved up from what I had made from trading. And that's combined with prop firms and combined with my overall trading that I made investments and overall options. But that's how my high school years went. Spent it very well. Honestly, could not complain. Towards the end of senior year, in the second half of the semester, that's when I first got introduced into futures, and I made a little transition into futures. I was still very indecisive of the direction that I was going to pick, whether I was going to stay as an options trader or stay as a futures trader. And the biggest reason why I was leaning towards options trading was due to the fact that you were able to trade with prop firms. And I know at the time prop firms were very sketchy. If you traded prop firms back then, like 2022, 2023, prop firms were very sketchy. There was a lot of prop firms that were rug pulling their customers not paying out. There was a lot of sketchy ass prop firms out there. I definitely got scammed on a lot of them. And but the biggest thing and the biggest advantage that prop firms still have is that because the biggest thing that you need for options trading is you need capital, bro. Like if you don't have capital, it's gonna be very difficult for you to make trading a living with options trading or trading a live account in general. Like you need funding, bro. Like you need funding to consistently make money. And thankfully that's why prop firms are so good. You can leverage them, you can have multiple accounts, and they give you the funding that any great trader has on a big live account. That I don't have $50,000 just to put on a live. At the time, I didn't have $50,000 to just put in a live account and risk it all. Like I think my options trading account had like around $20,000 I had stacked up, and that was just for trading. The rest was set to the side for investing, for my investments. But that was just for trading. And even then, risking and having that money as a kid wasn't very sustainable. Like it was very risky at moments. Like all it really would have taken was just one day of me crashing out, and I would have lost everything I had built throughout high school. But prop firms really changed everything. It took me like around a couple months to get my first payout due to the fact that I was already very familiar with trading in general. I already knew how to break down a chart. I already understood a lot of the terminology. I definitely wasn't a beginner transitioning over to futures. So it took me a couple months to get my first payout. I will say though, the month that I did get my first payout was like a 7 to 8K payout. I think almost a 5-figure payout. But the month after that, I just couldn't get a payout at all. Like, if I'm just being honest, I couldn't even pass an eval. I was blowing evals, and I had basically blown the entire payout that I received. And it was difficult. It was definitely difficult. The transaction to futures and building consistency definitely wasn't the easiest. And I soon realized that if I wasn't able to build a system that allowed me to be consistent, I was definitely not going to see no sort of result. But as time went and like I had my final breakthrough was definitely when I finally realized that trading has to, like, you just can't be put in a ton of hours on just trading and being on the charts. You need to build a system on a daily holy shit, I'm tweaking, but what's it called? A daily system that you can follow every single day, like essentially a daily routine that you follow and rules that you follow. And it's not just including trading and just being on the charts. Like, I'm talking about being disciplined outside of your life and just not trading. Like, if you're just because you're purely disciplined in trading that you're gonna be a successful trader, I'm telling you will be a much more greater trader if you're disciplined all over your life. Whether that's waking up every single morning, having a clean room, being clean within yourself, being organized, being great on time management, like skills like that, where you're disciplined in the gym, whatever it may be. Like, I'm telling you, if you're able to be disciplined in everything in your life and work towards being disciplined in everything in your life, all that and all those habits will transition for you to have great habits while you're trading and much more greater discipline while you're trading. And not only that, but you will build consistency in your life, because you can't be consistent here and consistent there and then maybe a little bit there and a little bit there. No, you have to be consistent in everything if you want your whole life and your whole results to be consistent. And that's my personal opinion. And the reason I say this is because I learned this because of soccer. A lot of people don't know this about me, and I don't post about it anymore, but I got to play soccer at a very high level, to the point where I almost became a professional soccer player at the second division here in the United States. I grew up playing soccer, and I made it very high level in Mexico. I played in the top academies over there in Mexico for Cholos and Cruz Azul. I played Fuerzas Básicas, and I got injured, and I ended up not making it in soccer. That's why we're fucking here, but overall, I will always be grateful for soccer, because what I just spoke about earlier about consistency and discipline, I learned it the hard way without soccer. I'm not going to sit here and say I blame my injury entirely, but my biological dad, what he always told me, and he pointed it out every single day from my soccer career, because he was a big influence in my soccer career and definitely supported me a lot, as well as my mom and my stepdad. But my biological father always told me was that he told me straight up, like, I don't think you're going to make it, like, with soccer. And I was like, I always like brushed. I was like, you're crazy, bro. Like, I'm goated right now. Like, I'm at my prime, but like, I don't know what you're talking about. And now that when I look back at it and I reflect, as he was right. Like, the only thing I was ever disciplined in was just my soccer. Like, I showed up to practice. Yes, I had to work hard. Yes, I was good. But you come home and you come into my room. My room was fucking dirty. Like, and no bullshit. I was like a fucking high school kid. Like, sometimes I wouldn't even shower. Like, I was very undisciplined when it came to every other aspect of my life besides soccer. And he always pointed out, you're not going to become professional. Like, what makes you think you're going to become a professional soccer player? You can't even make your bed every day. And I didn't understand it at the time. I was like, bro, this old head is fucking crazy. Like, I don't even know why I listened to him. But now I'm here and I'm like, damn, I should have listened to my dad. And so now when I made that big reflection and I analyzed that you truly need to be disciplined and consistent with everything, not just one thing and not just another thing. Like, you really have to be consistent and disciplined with everything if you want to have a result in your business or whatever you decide to do. In this case for me, it was trading. When I reflected and I started doing that and implementing discipline all over my life and creating a system that revolved around discipline and consistency, I was able to create my flip model, my strategy that I trade on a daily basis. And that routine and that system that I had built up to this point, I paired it up with my flip model, and it's what I've been trading for the past 3 years. And for the past 2 years, doing the math and making from the total profits that I made, profits I'm speaking, not the total that I've generated, but my total profit and my net profit that I've made from prop firms in the past 2 years, we were able to average $25,000 a month, exceeding $300,000 in trading profits. And thanks to all of that and everything that I have lived up to this point, I've been able to build a life that I will for always be grateful for, a life that I honestly dreamed of when I was in high school. Thanks to trading and thanks to what I've built, I've been able to build experiences and have clothes and do shit, like so many shit, like I'm telling you, so many shit that I dreamed of it throughout high school and shit that I wish I had throughout high school. I have it now. And not only that, and that's just like the bottom of it. Like, now I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I don't work a job. I've never had to work a job, thankfully. The only thing I ever had to do was construction and Instacart. But I do whatever I want now. I live the life that I want now. I wake up, I trade, I'm done after 2 hours, and then I go on and enjoy my day. I've been able to... I can show you guys my closet. I have over, I think, 50 pairs of jeans. In high school, every year, for every school year, I maybe had 1 or 2 pairs of jeans and 1 pair of shoe and a couple pro clubs. That's all I had for one entire school year, and I had to make it last. And that was from like literally elementary to literally, I want to say junior year. And like now I have the clothes that I like. I see something and I'm able to buy it. I go out and I want to eat something. I don't even have to think about the price or look at the price. And that's where my hard work paid off, and it went to. But the most important part for me is that I'm able to take care of my family. I look out for my mom. I look out for my stepdad, my dad, and most importantly now, my younger siblings. Now I get to be a role model to them. I get to inspire them. I get to lead them, and I overall get to give them a better experience for them to grow up and enjoy and not have to worry if mom and dad can afford this or not, or mom and dad can take them or buy them what they want. Like, my little sister wants something or wants to go shopping, bro, she has it, bro. My little brother needs something, he needs to go somewhere, he needs money to go out with his friends, he has it. He will never have that stress like I once did. And that is something I will for always be grateful for, and overall forever be grateful for God for putting me in this journey and allowing me to get to where I am today. And allowing the young kid that came from Oaxaca and came here knowing like literally nothing and having a family that came from nothing have everything. For that, I will for always be grateful and know everything to trading. And I love this space, and I forever will love this space, and I will forever love this skill because it's changed my life. It's changed me, and it's allowed me to come out of some deep holes that I've gotten myself into. But that's a little bit about my story. I'm super glad if you made it to the end of this video. Yeah, I mean, that's me. Kind of crazy, right? Oh, what I will end off with is I know a lot of you guys probably doubt yourselves whether or not this trading journey is going to work for you guys. And my brutal, honest opinion on it is that I'm telling you guys, it's a canon event to think that it's not going to work out. It's normal for you to be stuck in scenarios where you're stuck and you can't pass an EVA or you can't get paid out. Trust me, I've been there, and I'm telling you, continue to focus or continue to listen and focus and learn every single day. If you're learning from somebody, continue to learn from them. If you're trying to build something, build a system, build a routine, bro. I'm telling you. Pick a winning strategy that actually works and find the system that goes with that strategy and follow it. Don't chase big profits, bro. Chase consistency within your trading, and I'm telling you that pays a lot more than chasing big months. But I mean, I'm not just one person that has gotten a result. Thankfully, my student Alex was just able to quit his job this year and go full time. He was able to pay in advance his rent. He was able to pay off his car loan. He was able to pay off his insurance, and now he's a full-time day trader. Another student of mine, one of my first students named Giovanni, bro, he's 19 right now. He started when he was 17, and bro is making bank. Like, he is making 15-20K a month, and he started from nothing as well, and also comes from a similar background as me. Like, I'm telling you, I'm not just one lucky guy that got lucky. Like, of course, I was blessed for being able to learn everything and take on the losses, but I'm telling you, there's so much more people out there that have similar stories and have made it, and you can be one of them. You can really be one of them. The only thing that it's required is for you to believe in yourself, because I'm telling you, that is the most important thing. Because the amount of times I heard people not believing in me and making fun of me and saying I was crazy, bro, I can go on and on about those stories. And the amount of people I've proved wrong today, that list is long as fuck. Because they didn't believe in me, but the most important part is that I believed in myself, and I showed up every single day. I didn't give a fuck what anybody said about me. And I shut all of those people up, and so can you. Because remember, you are the only person who will get you out of the situation that you are in. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody else is going to come and save you. You have to do the work. You have to fix the problems. You have to do it. And I'm telling you, it's possible. You just got to believe in yourself. And if you want people to believe in yourself, you got to believe in yourself. Like, importantly, that's first step, bro. Because if you can't believe in yourself, why should anybody else believe in yourself? But I'm telling you, continue to put in the work, continue to learn, and continue to get better. I'm telling you, things will get better. But I'm going to end it off there. I'm super grateful to have been able to make this video. I'm super grateful for you guys allowing me to hit 20K on Instagram. I hope we can soon grow this YouTube channel and just grow our community larger. If you are interested in learning in the way I trade or joining my community, I'm going to leave a link down below. But I love you guys, and I'm super grateful for every single one of you guys. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.